Hey there friends, Nibs again. Out here in the garage doing a little bit of goofing around tonight, and I wanted to do a little bit of a review and some testing of a new pump that was just sent over, compressor that was sent over to me by Vevor. I've had the other one for a couple of months now, been using it quite often, both at the range powering off of DC and here in the garage powering off of AC. And it's been very reliable, and I've actually kind of put it through a torture test. This particular one, I just got it in, and I wanted to do some testing with it. The other one, it does say on the Vevor website and on Amazon that one is a 4,000 psi. It's a very nice pump, has auto shut off, thermometer, all the good features, DC and AC. But it only goes up to 4,000. Up until just recently, the highest pressure gun that I had was 3650, so 4,000 was more than enough. But lo and behold, like days before I got contacted about that, I ended up buying this beast, which is my Avenger, which goes up to 4350. So I have it outfitted with all buck rail tactical kit, and so I've never had this gun pumped up above 4,000 psi yet. We're going to try it for the first time here on camera. But let me bring you down to the tabletop here, and we'll talk about this guy a little bit before we get started. So we have AC input on the back here. There's also a yellow connector in the back here that this DC connector would connect to go to your car battery. I would recommend never to do this without having your car running, because this will suck a battery down pretty quick. I do like the fact that this one has a little holder on the side that you can store your DC cable on. So if you're carting this out to the range, that's one less thing you gotta worry about having stored somewhere. So up on the top here, we have a digital thermometer, and we also have a pressure gauge. And built into the pressure gauge is our pressure shutoff switch, which is just a mechanical dial that you turn to the pressure that you want it to run to. And then I haven't had this one apart yet, but I had the other one apart just to see what it looked like inside, and they do have really good machining. I actually have a Hatsan Volt, and the machining on the Vevor actually looks better than the Hatsan. So, and then on the front we have a pressure burst disc here in the middle. Then we have our bleeder valve, and then we have our Foster fitting to hook our fill whip on. And we are going to hook up our Avenger and get this thing rolling. I am going to use, it's very humid, so I am going to use my extra filter, so that's going to take it a little bit longer to fill up, but I don't want to introduce any unnecessary moisture to my gun here, so that requires me to have this extra whip here. And if you're going to have a PCP, I would suggest getting a couple of these hoses anyway. So what we have here is the main fill whip has a male on both ends, so that would, I had the dummy plug in there testing out the pressure, but so the main fill whip is going to plug in male onto the filter, and then the other end of the filter has a female, so we're going to plug our male into the filter, and then the second fill whip will clip onto the top of the Avenger upper tank. So this one has a upper tank that's bigger than a lower tank. So this is a regulated gun too. Fill the 4350. But let's just go ahead and see. I'm not going to time it or anything, but we can kind of get an idea from the video how long it will take. It's sitting at about 2,000 right now. So based on the way that the other one filled up, if this one fills at the same rate, which it says it does have the same fill rate as the other one that I have, I estimate it'll take about 5 to 8 minutes for it to go from 2,000 up to, well, it's going to take a little more because it's got to fill up that blue filter as well. So, but you know what? Actually, I may just start a timer and then I'll actually cut out I'll edit out the middle part where you guys don't have to watch me for 8 minutes watching this thing go, but I'll show you the time after we're done. So let's see here. I want to do stopwatch, reset, and so one thing before we get started, the thermometer, when you get it out of the box, starts up in Celsius, and but if you want to switch it, once you power it on, if you hold down the compressor button, hold it until you watch, there's 3 dashes in the thermometer gauge, and it takes about 4 or 5 seconds, but you watch it, and once it blinks, it'll switch over to whatever setting you were on. It will switch over to the opposite one. So if it's default on Celsius and you press it and hold it, it'll come up in Fahrenheit. They say do not exceed 90 degrees Celsius, which is about 180 degrees, 190 degrees Fahrenheit. And running this one or running the other one, I've never gone much over 100. So this one has dual fans, that one has a single fan, and it runs just as good. So you always want to start your fan first. It's going to get loud here in a second. Make sure your bleeder screw is shut, and start the timer, start the compressor, and I'll be back with you in a few minutes when it's filled up. Alrighty friends, so I'll bring you back on camera now. I am approaching a full fill here. It's taken a little bit longer than I had estimated initially, but not by much. We're at just going at 10 minutes right now, and the thermometer is sitting right at about 94 degrees Fahrenheit, and looks like it's just about ready to hit the fill stop. That's interesting. Let me stop so 10.5 minutes, the burst disc on my air filter just burst. I'm not sure, that's supposed to be a 4,500 PSI air filter, but that is what just happened. The air filter on but the gun's filled up. I am, well, yeah, it shows about 4,200 on the gun. So that is interesting. Why would the burst disc on my air filter pop out? Not a fault of the, not a fault of the gun or the compressor. The compressor ran nice. Almost the whole time it was sitting right at about 92 to 94 degrees Fahrenheit. Never even got close to 100. 94 was the highest reading it had. It ran for 10.5 minutes. Filled my gun up. I'm gonna have to figure out why my burst disc popped on the air filter here. That's unfortunate. I've never had it above 4,000, so all the new things we learn as we grow in this sport. So, but there you go. But the Vevor pump still going strong. Yeah, barely heated up at all. So these ones, if you can go in my description down below. The first line will be a link to this on the Vevor website. You can also find these on Amazon. They're just at this time they're just under $300, but just below the second line in my description is actually a discount code where you can get 5% off of this at the Vevor website as well. So it's a great pump. It's a little big, but it's made for high volume and high pressure and excellent cooling. I think that's its biggest feature right there, is that excellent cooling. And they did say this one is rated. You can fill small bottles with this. I don't remember exactly what size they said, but it's not just for filling guns. They said you can also fill bottles with this. So my other one, I've actually topped off my my Scott tank a couple times with it. Got it up to 4,000, and it would actually ran for 25 minutes straight. And there's an actual timer inside of there. I've tested it several times. It shuts off exactly at 25 minutes. I haven't tried this one yet. I probably will, just to see how it'll go. But I need to figure out what's going on with that filter first. But there you go. That is my review and testing for the Vevor. I really wanted to get my Avenger up past 4,000 PSI. I was getting about 40 shots from 4,000 down to 2,000 before I started falling off the regulator. And I really wanted to get that extra little bit of capacity there so I can run it just a little bit longer, probably get another mag or two out of it with that extra capacity in there. So anyway, there you go. Great little pump. We'll be doing plenty of more torture testing with it and testing down the road, but I think it's so far it's a winner. So hope you liked the video. Till next time, have a great day.